Hi, I'm Courtney Feiman, and I'll be doing scenes from the Papermaker.
Can we get going?
What's your hurry?
I was born in a hurry.
Well, I was born the opposite.
No, you weren't. Bing, bang, boom, hello world.
Mom never told me that.
There you were, this squealing mass of girl. I didn't know what to do with you, and I've never known what to do with you. You know, Emily, I've eaten wriggling sea creatures in Tokyo, unnameable goat organs in South Korea, and your mother's infamous graham cracker pancakes. But the food in that diner you chose for its local color was the hands down, and I do mean the hands.
I didn't like the way you treated the waitress.
Randy, with an I. Randy scored a 200% tip for a wet grilled cheese and weak coffee.
It was embarrassing.
And here I thought I was being kind. I figured the poor wretch could use the bus fare upstate to visit her husband in the penitentiary.
I wasn't joking.
Oh, Emily, I know. What the hell happened to your sense of humor?
I can't imagine.
I recall a more even-tempered girl before you got in with...
Garrett. Jesus.
I was going to say with all these mentors and so forth, but him too.
For starters, I'm no longer a girl, even-tempered or otherwise.
No, that's true. You're a woman, a lovely, accomplished woman who, I imagine, can orchestrate with extraordinary kindness the therapy of paranoids and manic depressives and other troubled souls.
Well, thank you.
And yet, when faced with your own father, you become fixed and judging and short of compassion.
Is that what you're asking for? Compassion?
I don't recall asking for anything. You asked, I obliged. And here I am, having the time of my life in the backwoods of New Hampshire. What color would you call that coffee? Taupe? A kind of off beige? Just to be clear, I do remember what your dissertation is about.
Really?
Your dissertation is about the influence of culture on cognitive and social processes. Ha! How's that for a bad listener?
That was Mom's dissertation.
I could have sworn that was your dissertation. What do you say to a truce, Emily? Bury the hatchet?
That's racist.
What?
It's considered racist to say bury the hatchet?
Racist against who?
Against whom? Native Americans.
I believe they prefer to be called Indians. They've gone back to Indians.
My dissertation is about interrogating assumptions.
That sounds very academic. Are you kidding? That Abbott Falls trumpeter?
I'm a subscriber now.
They won a Pulitzer last year for creative use of apostrophes.
There's a man in town building an ark on his lawn.
I saw that.
He's working on it night and day. Why?
Maybe he got sick of painting Union signs.
Do you have anything remotely nice to say about the people who work for your paper?
Yes, they're tougher sons of bitches than I ever gave them credit for. If I lose Sunday, I'm going to have to cave.
And if you win?
Then they cave.
Meaning?
Meaning the union calls a vote, and they accept the same contract I offered them 3 months ago.
Wow. You win, all right.
I get my Papermakers back. That's the win. Truth is, my scabs are making shit paper. You didn't hear that from me.
Let me drive, Henry.
I'm fine, thanks.
I won't hurt your precious baby. May I drive, please?
Certainly. I could use a rest after 7.5 hours on the road.
It hasn't been that long.
Oh, it has.
Thank you, Henry.
You're most welcome. It's already running. Emily, oh, Christ almighty. Just like that. Yes, there you go. Easy does it. Good Christ, who taught you how to drive?
Uncle Scott.
Of all your mother's brothers, he was the one I found the least objectionable.
Uncle Scott is a superb listener. A stupendous listener.
We've got 41 hours left, Emily. Let's be friends. What do you say? Tell me something I don't know.
Where do I start? How's this? After Mom died, like a week later, I wandered around New Haven one afternoon and I bought myself one of those giant campus shopping bags, and on the way to the cash register, I filled it up to the top with complete junk. I'm talking bath beads and scented candles and ugly dish towels. I mean, it's not like I filled it with her stuff or even with anything that reminded me of her. Well, maybe the bath beads.
Your mother did love her bath beads.
I was just gathering things. And I have no idea why it was such a comfort, because it was. I could have been building an ark, is what I'm trying to say, for all the sense it made.
You could, speed up a little.
What?
You could speed up.
The speed limit is there for a reason.
Suit yourself. We certainly want to be safe.
It's been 6 months.
It's been precisely 3 months.
I don't mean the strike. It's been 6 months, Henry. To the day.
I'm sorry, Emily. By the time your mother and I...
Hated each other's guts. I know.
I wouldn't go that far.
She would.
That meeting was critical, Emily. It would have taken me 14 hours to fly back home. Obviously, if I'd still been married to your mother, or even friends with her, then maybe it's a different story.
I know.
You told me it was all right. You gave me permission.
I did. I know that.
Pretty country. Even in the dark. Very nice.
Uncle Scott hates poetry. He thinks a couplet is something you put in a drain pipe.
Now there's something we can get behind. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence. Come on. 2 roads.
2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by.
And that has made all the difference.
There, Henry, see? The poet makes his choice and imagines his future sigh of contentment. He chooses the road less traveled.
But the road not taken is still there. Take the high road, the low, the most traveled, the least. The road not taken is still there, shining in the rear view. A sigh of contentment, maybe, or a sigh of regret. Our frostman won't say.
I'm glad you came. Tired, Henry?
3 months of mortal combat with a worthy opponent. 6 hours of sleep in 3 days. Yes, I'm tired.
You rest, Dad. I'll get us there. Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah.
Forgot all about your voice.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So he wants me to take it down?
Will you?
No. Not for a good while yet.
Make 'em sweat.
You got it.
She's a beauty.
Thanks. Thank you. You alright now?
Uh-huh. I have to admit something to you. I am a terrible driver. A really, really terrible driver.
Oh, now that's probably true.
I have so little experience behind the wheel. I have so little experience, period. All I've ever done is be the smartest girl in class.
Well, you should take pride in that. In education, that's something to be proud of.
They wanted to kill us.
No, they didn't.
It seemed like it.
Of course it seemed like it. That's the whole idea.
I drove off like a maniac. The headlights were smashed and I couldn't see a thing, and the car was steaming and the windshield was broken and my father was yelling and I'm looking for a way out. And then I saw it. The ark. It was all lit up like a port in a storm. So I stopped. I stopped right there, and my father was yelling, but the car was done. One last choke, and then nothing but steam. So we sat there, dead quiet. And I thought, we're safe. Because the ark was there, and it was familiar, and I'd seen it in the paper. I'd been thinking about it, and it was familiar. Why? Why?
I'm not expecting a flood, if that's what you're thinking.
I didn't think that.
A man's got to do something with his hands. Maybe that's all there is to it.
My mother died.
Yeah. When?
6 months ago today.
You're awfully young.
26. Old enough to... I should be... My father was 50 at my age. My father was born 50. Guess the crazy weather couldn't last.
Never does. My son is 21. Young like you, but a grown man all the same.
If you don't mind my asking, your wife,
It's the cancer.
she's a good person. You can just tell.
We met in the 2nd grade. My big bone girl. Gone all to feathers.
My mother was driving home from Dean and Delucia with a trunk full of groceries. Middle of the afternoon. Cab ran a red light.
That's an awful shame. For your father too, I guess.
They split when I was 9. She never found anyone else. I mean, she wasn't the most agreeable person, but she was a really, really good mother. I like that little opening. Could you get a pair of giraffes through there?
I don't know about giraffes. Chipmunks sure are having a field day.
I'm sorry about the strike.
You're not responsible for your father.
Have you ever done this before? The strike, I mean?
We had a doozy back in '64. The last civilized strike, I call it. Salaried men went in to keep the machines running. People as should, for the most part. It wasn't like this. Strangers from nowhere marching in to take your job. That's a whole different ballgame. It changes everything.
This might sound a little strange, but the mill is sort of beautiful. Don't you think? A certain, I don't know, industrial beauty.